Hello guys, how you doing? As you can see, spring has sprung around here and things are growing out of hand, and I'm enjoying it. So here I am sitting in my yard again with a tent set up, which could mean only one thing: I'm not backpacking. And on that note, it is really frustrating this time of year not to be up in the mountains. I guess that's the kind of a bad part of living in southeast Florida. I know all you guys, or a lot of you guys that are out here watching right now, are saying, well, you know, this is your time of year to get them, and I'm happy for you. It is. This is time of year. You guys had a really rough winter, and hopefully everybody's getting out on the trail. I will too soon, but it's a road trip for me. I know that, and it's you know, I have to really plan on making that drive up to either North Georgia mountains or Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, and even up in Virginia. But it will happen, and will happen soon. So, but anyway, this is what we do when we're not backpacking. We come out with other videos. So the subject that I wanted to do today is I'm going to go over 4 gear items that I absolutely love, I don't use, but I'm not getting rid of them. So I'm going to start off with, of course, I set up the this tent behind me. Of course, I only put the first part of the tent up. It's a double wall tent. This is the screen enclosure. I didn't bother putting the fly up because I did a review on this tent. And I'll put a card up here too if you want to happen to look at that. This is Mountain Smith Morrison 2-man tent, freestanding tent, double wall. It's like 92, like I said, I won't get into all the specs, but it's 92 inches long and like 53 wide. It's bomb proof. It's absolutely bomb proof. I love the thing. I don't use it, and the big reason I don't use it, with the stakes, poles, everything that comes with it, it's 5.5 pounds. I used it about 2 years ago on a large section of the AT in Georgia, and it was a bear carrying it, but my wife was with me, so it was perfect for the two of us. And that's the reason I'll probably keep it. I love it because when my wife goes backpacking with me, this will be my go-to tent on short trips. We don't usually do long trips together, so this will be for short trips or solo short trips, something that I just really want to have the Taj Mahal when I'm out there camping. This would be it, a car camping situation. Definitely when I do kayaking, since I'm not concerned about the weight as much as when I'm backpacking, this will be my kayak tent. Only because I don't carry trekking poles with me, and I use a trekking pole situation with the tent I have now, or the tarp I use now. So I guess I could use kayak paddles. I thought about that, but now this would be my go-to tent as far as just doing a kayak overnighter or a few overnighters. So that's why I'm keeping. I have no plans on getting rid of it. It was kind of inexpensive. I think at the time I paid like $130 for this tent, and it's good as any double wall tent out there, but it's a little bit heavy. Of course, you can find like some Big Agnes tents that are lighter, that are double walled, but they're a lot more money. So that's with the tent. The other thing, I happen to be sitting on it here, is a camp chair. This camp chair weighs about 1.5 pounds, but what I like about it, I have to put it together. It pretty much just has a little cord around it. Nice about it is that this chair really has the height where I don't have to like get way down in the chair. I know there's lighter chairs out there like the Helinox 0 or 1 that weigh a lot less, come in a smaller package, cost a lot more. But to me, I've tried those chairs. I've tried one, I fell over in it, and I still have to get kind of low to get down into it, so it just doesn't seem like something that's in my future. It's a great seat. It's very comfortable. It's easy to set up, and it does weigh 1.5 pounds, and I could put it at the bottom of my backpack. So this is an item I love, and I'm not getting rid of, but I don't use it. So let's go over a couple more. Okay, I'm back. Now, the third item, this is my Sun Tactics solar panel. You can see by the size of my hand, this is how big the thing is. It opens up, I hook with these two little holes right here. I had two little small carabines that were on the back of my backpack that this thing just attaches to it. It's virtually waterproof. I think they said it can be submerged up to 40 feet. The only thing, you know, if you're in a saltwater area situation, I'd probably rinse out this USB port right here. When I was out west in the Sierras, it worked great because you get constant sunshine out there, and it did charge up. I had a little 4000 mAh battery bank, and it charged most of that up during a day. I also charged up my inReach Garmin with it, and I think I could have gotten away with just this on that JMT trip. I really love it. I think it would be also good on, I have never used it on the kayak, but I think it would be really good just to put it up on the kayak and let it sit there, but I'm just afraid of the salt water on that. But this is made by Sun Tactics. I don't know if I ever did a review on this, but you can go look this up and you can find out all the stats on it. It weighs nothing, and it's pretty indestructible. Somebody had recommended to me, and I'm glad they did. On the Appalachian Trail or on the anywhere on the east, you just don't get that kind of sun during the day in order for this to be useful to you. But if you're out west, if you're on the PCT, they call this the go-to charger on the PCT. So if you're on the PCT, you're on the CDT, you're out in the Colorado Trail, anywhere out west, this little item is very, very valuable to you if you don't want to carry around all those battery banks. It does its job in charging. And it's a Sun Tactics. Like I said, you can look this up. This was the smaller one. I kind of forget what it cost. It was over $100, but it's something to hold on to. I'm sure I'll use it again. Not anytime soon here, but I know that it'll come in handy one day. The fourth item that I want to go over is something I really like a lot. A few years ago, my interest really got into like survival and bushcrafting and things like that. I guess that just brings out the little boy or a little girl in us why we do these things. But I came across what they would call a bush buddy, or in this case, a solo stove. Now, I thought this was going to be my go-to stove on the whenever I go on trails. I did use it. Anybody who knows anything about it, let me get it out of this thing here. This is the little case it comes in. It's called the Solo Stove. I bought two parts of this, and I'll show you how these two parts are. I was going to go ahead and fire this up and demonstrate it, but that would just take up too much time. And I do have a video, one of my videos, where it shows me using this, and it works real well. So I'll show you what I did here. The stove itself is two parts. It's a double-walled stove. That's a wood-burning stove. It has these little stainless steel. This whole thing is made out of high-grade stainless steel, but it has these where you put the little twigs in and stuff. This part goes on top, and you continuously feed the stove with wood twigs, and it's called, the term they use is an ultra clean gasification. Never heard that term before, but what it does is it actually, as it's burning, the stove eats its own smoke, so it's smokeless. Now, if they make these in a big, giant camp type thing, they make them in all different sizes. I really love this thing. This thing works perfect. If you can see the burning surface on it, really covers a lot, and it's not that really forced like you would get on a gas stove. So with this is sold separately. I think right now you can buy this for like $69.99. I've seen it on Amazon. It's the small solo stove, but with it, at the time, I had bought the 900 milliliter stainless steel, high-grade, food-grade stainless steel pot that goes with it. You can see I have used it, and it does fit perfectly on this and get such an even burn with it. I mean, it's a lot of fun to use this. I absolutely love this thing. And with the 900 milliliters, you can pretty much cook anything in this. It has the area right here which shows the amount of water in ounces and in milliliters to, you know, for whatever you need to cook. You can cook right in this pot. I have cooked in it. You can see the bottom of it. I overcooked one time, so that's something you got to be careful with. So that's a really good item. They call it the Solo Stove. Between the two, the pot and the stove, I think it's over $100, but I love the thing. And if you don't want to have to use fuel, all you need is some small twigs, and it starts up really quickly. Now, the downside. Well, this is kind of a downside. The whole thing weighs about with the cover, the stove, the pot, the lid, everything. I weighed it on my scale and it came just under 1.2 pounds. You're saying, well, that's a lot. This is my Toke 700. This is the fuel canister I bring with it. Inside here is an MSR2. There's also a little rag, and there's a little sponge I keep in here. The two of these things come in, if you'll have a full canister, and this comes in just under a pound. It's almost like right at a pound. So the difference in weight isn't really that much of a big deal. What is a big deal to me is the convenience of use. Really, most people come into camp early, and you would have time to use the Solo Stove, but everybody likes convenience. You know, fire up that gas, get things cooked, get that water boiled real fast. And for me, it's not coming into camp at night that I worry about, because I'm usually in camp long enough where I'm sitting around doing things anyway, and playing around with the stove would be no problem. I guess it's in the mornings. In the mornings, those who want to get up and get out of here don't really want to go around collecting twigs and start a fire. For me, it comes down to just warming up water to have hot coffee. Maybe I should start just drinking cold coffee. I may on my next trip bring this Solo Stove with me and just completely rid myself of fuel, and just see how it works for me, see if I like it or not. I don't think I really ever gave it a fair chance. My next trip, I think I'll use this. And this is one of my favorite items that I don't use, and I'm sure the hell aren't going to get rid of it. So that's it. But let me know what you have that you really love, that you don't use, and you're not going to get rid of. It's so frustrating being down here and not getting out in the woods hiking. I know I could be out in the boat or out in the kayak fishing, but it's not what I want to do right now. I want to get up in the mountains. I have an invitation to go with another YouTuber up in Georgia, maybe do a couple nights there. Another YouTuber that lives up in Tennessee. We've been trying to hook up and do something with him. Was going to go up to Trail Days, but unfortunately my wife is doing a girls thing, and she's going out to Sedona, Arizona. Sounds interesting, but I got to stay home. I got to take care of my pup, hold down the fort. So that is going to go on right during Trail Days, so I'm not going to make it up there this year, but I may make it up the week after, or I may go the week before and do a hike. So guys, again, thanks for following Walker's World. Please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the notification bell. And I hope you're all out there enjoying this really great weather and getting out on the trail. So until next time, I will see you soon.